Everybody, it's Todd Robbins. We are going live and doing our CoFIT-20 class for today. Today we're talking about the foot, so we'll let a few people kind of get in here and see how we're doing. So, looks like we're live here. I got my buddy Skelly in here today. He's going to help us out. We're going to take a look at the foot. And also we got some different stuff that we're going to work on today. So, give people a couple minutes here. Looks like we're right on time, about 12 o'clock. First of all, thank you guys for coming out and doing our CoFIT-20 class. Again, we're doing 20 classes, all right, to really just kind of get us past COVID-19. So that's where we got the name from. We are working on giving you guys some education at home, things you can work on if it's tough for you to kind of get into our clinics here. So I'm Todd Robbins. I am a physical therapist, been treating patients for about 20 years now. I am a fellowship trained physical therapist in functional science, have golf certifications, and have worked with lots and lots of patients. And I love what we're talking about today because I have seen a lot of foot patients. We'll be talking about the foot today, so I'm excited. So you guys are, if you're watching this, you're probably joining us on Facebook Live, right? We're doing 20 classes, all right? So this is class number 4. We have a whole set of classes that we're rolling out for everyone at home. Help you stay fit, stay positive here. You know, just kind of keep moving at home when we're stuck there during the pandemic. Everything that we do here is completely free. It's a real thank you for our patients that we've had. We've had the practice for 16 years. So it is a real big thank you to all of you guys. So everything's free. All we ask is that you just share it, okay? We want to reach as many people as possible and help people out, like teach them things while they're stuck at home. We know a lot of people are stuck at home. So if you know other people that might be interested in this, I really, really encourage you to share it with them so they can take advantage of it and we can kind of work together on it. If you share it, you're in a raffle. So each class, we are raffling off really a care package. We've started with foam rollers. After we do some things today, we may say you might want something else. We got a foam pad that we're working with today, so we'll be giving away different things depending on kind of what you want. But in order to get in the raffle, you just got to share it. All right, easy. Just press the button. We have in this a wide variety of classes, so we're touching on so many different things. Okay, and it's hard because we know there's a broad audience out there, so we're trying to get different things for different people. And again, today we're talking about the foot. Most people have a foot or 2 feet, not all of our patients, but this is really applicable to a wide variety of people, and I think you're going to learn a lot today. So, medical disclaimer, I got to kind of get this one out there. You know, if you have pain or if you're going to do an activity that we're going to try and hear today, and your brain says, I don't know if I want to do that, listen to it, all right? Your body's going to know, you know, and if you're doing an activity and it gets painful, stop, all right? You should probably see a medical professional, okay? Guess what? You can see us. So we're totally the best medical professionals. You know, what I would encourage you to do is give us a call and talk to us. Put some comments in the box. Say, hey, I was doing this and I had some pain. We can reach out to you and talk to you about that, but don't push through that, okay? Number 1 goal of CoFIT-20, no injuries, all right? And again, guys, this is educational information. It doesn't replace proper care if something is going on, but you know, it gives you some information and some things you can kind of go on. So we're getting some more people joining us here. Let's see what we got. Oh, good. Hey, Dana. All right. So I am going to get in some education on the foot. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Todd Robbins. I'm a physical therapist. What we're going to do today is a little bit of anatomy stuff with my buddy Skelly here, talk about the foot a little bit, talk about a little bit about footwear, some common foot issues that we have, and then we're actually going to test you out, okay? So we're going to do a test before, we're going to do some activity and exercise, and we're going to do a test afterwards and see how you do. It's really interesting for me because I have no idea how this is going to go, but you guys are going to comment in there and let me know, all right? I don't currently have any foot issues or problems, but if other people do or have balance difficulties, we're really going to test that out and take a look at it. So let's dive into it. The foot, all right? So the foot really it's something that's really commonly beat up. I always say people beat up their feet and their spines. We see a ton of that in physical therapy. Your foot right here has 27 bones in it, all right? Just in the 1 foot. And just really, you could argue and count the joints in there. But you know, I always liken it to, and you know, if I talked about it's kind of like walking around on a bag of marbles, all right? There's all these small bones in the foot that allow for a lot of intricate movement that's really important, but it can really get people into trouble. What we always say, and we did like a lot through my fellowship training, when the foot hits the ground, like everything changes, all right? So I could give you another hour dissertation on the foot pretty easily, but what we're talking about there is like just when I'm walking or doing any activity, when I walk forward, my foot hits the ground, there is so much going on in the foot that we don't have time to go over, but it's fascinating, all right? But this is just like emphasizing the foot is a pretty complicated piece of your body, all right? We're going to give you some general stuff today that you can learn about, but I just want you to kind of keep that in mind. It is pretty complicated. One thing I get questioned on a lot from a lot of our patients is footwear, okay? Now, again, guys, we have a broad group of people that are watching this. I'm going to give you some general stuff. It's not made to be specific, okay? And we'll kind of go through that. Everyone's feet are different, okay? My feet are different than your feet, but my left foot is different from my right foot, okay? Even within your body, you have two different feet. So making generalized recommendations for footwear is a little bit tricky. I'm happy to talk to you about it and get a little bit more information from you, but I want to talk about some stuff in general, right? So everyone likes to talk and kind of take a look at my goofy shoes here. So I don't know if you can kind of see these. These are Vibram 5-finger shoes. So they have individual spots for each of my feet. Probably the number one thing I get asked about from patients and walking around, seeing me in these shoes. They're a little bit different. My wife hates them. She will not go out in public with me when I wear them, but I like it. I want to tell you why. Humans have walked around for somewhere around 200,000 years, okay? And been pretty, so we were not that much different 200,000 years ago than we are right now today. And guess what? They didn't have shoes back then, all right? I think of things, and we've talked about in the past some of our other videos, of a caveman mindset, all right? So we're not any different than cavemen as far as like our bodies. So, we're just not used to being in a shoe like this. And a real simple thing to do, so if you just take a look at a shoe, and I wear these shoes too, so I wear other shoes, but which one looks more like my foot? All right, like this is how my foot is designed to do over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. And the last tiny sliver of that time, we started stuffing our feet in these things, okay? From when you're a little kid, so hey, put your shoes on, and then now we are conforming to this instead of walking around like the cavemen did, like we naturally would do in our shoes, with our toes moving around. So that's why I wear shoes like this. I used to have plantar fasciitis, which is an irritation in tissue in the bottom of your foot. I stand a lot, all day long in the clinic, and I used to wear dress shoes. It really gave me a bunch of problems. Started wearing these shoes and doing a couple other things, completely gone. Haven't had any issues with it. This is how my feet are designed to get around, okay? But if you have specific questions on footwear, what I really encourage you to do is reach out to us. Comment below, all right? But we're actually open in our offices. If you want to come in, and if you came in here and I was treating a patient, you'd see me in my mask and gloves and all that fun stuff. So we're protecting everyone in the office, but we are actually open. So if you have specific questions, we offer free evaluations to everybody, so you can come in and talk to us, okay? All right, so in the clinic, people ask me, well, I just said earlier, hey, feet really get beat up, all right? We put a lot of, stress and strain through our feet. So common things I see in the office, and you guys have probably heard of this too, what I just talked about, plantar fasciitis, so heel pain right down here, real sharp pain right on the inside of your heel, very classic response, that tissue's getting irritated. Achilles tendonitis, or tears post-surgically. Achilles tendon, back of your foot, your biggest, thickest tendon in your body, okay? When you rupture that thing, you got some work to do. I will take an ACL tear over an Achilles tear 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. So that's a really important part. That tissue becomes irritated. And then we do see things like ankle sprains. Really what we see a lot of really is chronic issues with the foot. We are just pounding that thing over and over and over again. And if we have poor mechanics and poor strength and poor motion, that is going to cause issues. So we're going to talk about with our exercises today, things you can do in general to help the health of your feet and see if your feet are strong. Along with those common diagnoses that we see in our office, there's common issues that go along with the foot. So when my patient comes in and they start talking and they say yep, this is where it hurts and this is what's happening, I can almost guarantee a few things. One, they are going to be lacking proper range of motion in their foot. And the big one that we always talk about is what's called dorsiflexion. Okay, so what dorsiflexion is if you're kind of looking at me from the side here, if my leg is straight, keep your knee straight, that's important, all right? And I flex my foot up towards me, that's dorsiflexion, okay? So it's coming up here. So really, I should have minimally about 10 degrees of motion. So if 0 is straight up and down in your foot and you're flexing back, I should be able to get past that. My patients that come with foot problems, probably 2 out of 10 can get past 0. Can get past that motion. Like the Achilles is tight, the joints are tight, and it just tightens up over time. So one thing that I can say is good is stretching the Achilles and the calf muscle, and we're going to go through some of that today. Other things I see is weakness in small muscles in the bottom of the foot, okay? So we get out here, and we're going to do class barefoot today. So I wore my shoes just to show you, but we're going to go through class barefoot because we really should be getting out of our shoes a little bit more. So intrinsic muscles are muscles right in the bottom of our foot, and these help really kind of support the arch. I don't want to get too technical here. We can have some debate with some people, but like right here in the bottom of the foot, there's small muscles that help give us that arch. When I don't use those muscles and I wear a shoe that supports my arch all the time, then those muscles weaken and my foot flattens out. All right? There's different reasons why you can also get a flat foot. Again, this is general, but if I have good, strong muscles in the bottom of my foot, I can actually build my arch back up, all right? It's not true for everybody, but we work a lot on foot intrinsic muscles there, and those are really the first guys that are in contact with the ground, so we work a lot on that. And the last one that we see with a lot of patients is balance, all right? So the foot, again, first thing in contact with the ground, right? So this helps keep me stable and steady. So we're going to take a look at balance today. Balance is such an important part of overall function, but just such an often neglected thing. We don't think about that. Hey, I'm a little bit weaker, or I can't get my arm up like this. But many times when I have patients come in, let's test your balance, and they do like, wow, I had no idea my balance was this bad. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And tell you what, let's just dive right into that. We're going to start getting into the exercise. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to take your socks and shoes off, okay? And you guys are probably all in the comfort of your home or whatever, so no one cares if your feet are out. But yeah, take socks and shoes off. We're going to work on some things where we're kind of getting our foot more in contact with the ground. Now, if you have foot issues or problems, and you know that when you're barefoot, it really hurts your feet, okay? Don't do that, all right? Some people just have more irritation. We have to gradually kind of get into getting you barefoot. But as long as you have no pain or problems with it, let's get out of our feet, out of our shoes. And then what I want you to do is we're going to need a soft surface because we're going to do some exercise activities. I use a foam pad like this, which is great. Unlikely that you guys have some of this at home. Folded up bath towel, okay? Just something that's like a soft surface. So this gives when I stand on it. So go to your house, find like a big folded up fluffy bath towel, and that will do a very similar thing. We'll show you as we go through, all right? So what I want to do with you guys is a little bit of a pre-test, all right? And I want to give you guys some information. I was actually, PTs are research geeks, and I found this new study, which was really, really interesting, and it's going to go over what we're going to test out with your balancing today. So one way to test balance, there are many ways. One way to test balance is to work on, can I stand on one foot, okay? And can I stand on my other foot? And if I want to make that harder, if I stand on one foot and close my eyes and lose the use of my vision to help me balance, I'm going to see changes and differences in there, all right? So we're going to test you guys out. So what I want you to do is find a spot, flat ground, your shoes are off, right? Unless you have foot problems. What I want you to do is stand on your right foot. And we're just going to count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to keep standing on your foot. We're going to get to about 20 seconds, okay? Without you putting your foot down, okay? Now you can move your arms a little bit, okay? We don't want to, but you can't put that foot down. If you put your foot down, the test is over, all right? So you need to know how many seconds you were able to do that. And what I want you guys to do, if you're at your computer or your phone, do that test and put how many seconds you got on your right foot and how many seconds you got on your left foot, okay? Because we're going to test it again afterwards and see how we did, all right? So just get a test. Everyone can do it right now. Count the amount of seconds you can stand on your right foot, all right, without touching or touching something else, and your left foot without touching anything, okay? If you can do 20 seconds, right? If you're less than 20 seconds, you can comment and put it in there, all right? But if you made over 20 seconds, we gotta make it a little bit harder, all right? So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna stand on one foot, okay, and close your eyes, okay? So we're gonna hold that, and you'll notice, I don't have foot problems, but this gets a lot harder for me, okay? I gotta make small adjustments in here. Now I can still hold it, but when I remove my vision, okay, I have to rely more on my foot and really my vestibular system in my head, all right? So this is a little bit harder, but I know I can do 20 seconds, okay? Very few people can actually do 20 seconds, but I don't have any foot problems, and I kind of do this stuff all day long. Same thing, we're gonna test on the other side, okay? We're gonna close your eyes and keep your balance here, and we're gonna count, all right? And we're gonna do, eyes open with eyes closed, see how long we can do, all right? Most people are gonna have a struggle getting up to 20 seconds here. But if you can get to 20 seconds with your eyes closed, you got good balance, you're doing well. Most of the people, and most people watching, are not gonna get there, all right? So I wanna get a rough idea of where you started from, okay? If you can do 20 seconds with your eyes open, no problems, go to eyes closed and get how many seconds you can do. If you put your foot down before 20 seconds with your eyes open, then that's your score, all right? So just get an idea, write that down somewhere, put it on, you can post it up on here, which will be fun if you can see some of those. That's what we're gonna do. So this, the research study that I was talking about, this was one of the tests that they did, and they took a look at it. I'm gonna give you guys some numbers so I don't forget them. So it's, why is it important to be able to balance on one foot? It's a functional score, it doesn't tell everything, but your balance is gonna deteriorate over time. What they did, they took a look at 2,700 volunteers that did 3 simple tests, and one of them was the one we just did, okay? Just one leg standing balance, all right? And those who did poorly, I don't want to bore you with the numbers on it, but if you weren't good at doing that, they have different numbers attached to it, they were 3 times more likely to have died in the next 13 years, okay? So, they used it and talked about it as like an indicator for your overall health. There's all sorts of different cases where that would be important or not, but your ability to stand on one foot is important for your overall function, but there was actually a study that was done, and it's also important if you just want to stay alive. So that is my motivation to you to work on your balance, and that's what we're going to work on today. It's that important. Maybe it'll make you live longer, okay? Can't guarantee that, but there was a study that was done with a pretty large group of people, 2,700 people. That's a large sample size, and it was found that if you were pretty poor, and there was 3 different tests, but this one indicated, most strongly that if you were not good at this, and so they did it in 1999 and then tracked it out for 20 years, and they found out that the people that were not good at that test died sooner. So don't die sooner. Come on. All right. So that's our pre-test right there. Now what I want to do is a little bit of activity with you, some things that you can easily do at home with no equipment at all. First thing we're going to do, just in general, is our warm-up. I'm going to move my guy Skelly here. All right. So I'm going to do that with you guys. As you're moving along, whether you're talking a lot or not, doing some exercise, always drink your water. All right. So I want to get just a little bit of a warm-up, get ready for activity. Again, if you're having trouble with any of these activities or pain, don't do it. We'll skip to the next one. You'll still get a lot of stuff out of this, all right? So I want to do just a little bit of a dynamic warm-up. I'm going to start with just like a walking lunge. So I've got my office here. We're kind of north and south. I'm just going to do a walking lunge. This is what it looks like. So I'm just forward. Good. And just trying to get a good stretch. Okay. Just walking. And then you can turn around and come back. It's just a good overall kind of dynamic warm-up for lower extremity. Just reaching out in front of you. And also, like when you're doing these things, like feel your feet like touching the ground. If you don't spend a lot of time barefoot, start to kind of feel that. Your feet are designed to kind of, accept the ground and keep you stable. So this, if it might be normally you do lunges and it's pretty easy, but you might find it a little bit harder if I'm doing it and I don't have my shoes on, so that'll be interesting. Again, put some comments in here and we'll answer. Holly's answering them today. So she's way smarter than me, so she's going to give you all the right answers. All right, so now I want to do just a little bit of a stretch for what I call posterior chain, everything down here. So this is going to be one-legged deadlift walk, okay? So pay attention here. I'm going to put my right foot out in front of me, and I'm just kind of bending forward with my opposite hand, my left hand, and just reaching down. Nice and easy. This is slow, okay? We're not in a rush. Other side, I'm just reaching down. Good. Getting a good lengthening back in through here. Here, reaching down. All right, if you're having trouble balancing with that, you can just take a step on 2 feet and just kind of come down. Take another step. Down. Nice and easy. Okay, I'm just opening up, kind of like posterior chain. Everything here goes together, but really what we're looking at there, particularly down to the calf and the Achilles. Okay, trying to get that done. So just walking, and then again, just getting a bend forward there, down, and forward, down. All right, good. Loosen up there. We'll do one more. Another thing that we are very kind of anterior posterior animals. We do things forward and back. We do a ton of stuff in PT going side to side. It's important for your foot too. So just doing kind of some lateral lunges here with a squat. Just kind of coming down. I'm going to stay facing the same way the whole time. So just loosening up, kind of getting my feet to accept the ground and move around a little bit. Keeping head and shoulders up. And I just travel back. So it's important to face the same way as you travel back. Because now I'm going the opposite direction, just stepping to the side. Your foot and the dynamics of your foot work much differently when I'm stepping to the side versus when I'm stepping forward and back. All right, so that's a pretty good warm-up. We're going to get into some of the exercises here. Again, guys, with these exercises, you're doing them, it's giving you pain or problems, your first call needs to be to us, okay? Let's figure it out. Don't push into any pain or problems here. I'm going to go through some exercises that we use a lot in the clinic. That highlight kind of some of the issues that I said a lot of our patients have. All right, so one of my favorite ones I like to do is called towel scoops. Okay, so I'm just using a towel. If you have like something you can kind of put your hands on a little bit, or a wall or something like that. Sometimes that helps, particularly if you have balance problems. But what I'm going to do, I have a towel on the ground here, and all the towel's going to do is just give me some sensation under my feet. You don't need a towel in order to do it, but some patients find it a little bit easier to activate foot intrinsics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet on this towel, and I'm going to work on curling my toes like I'm trying to pick up that towel, and I'm trying to bring my arch up, okay? Might be hard to see on the camera, but what I'm going to do is just put one foot in front of the other, okay? And again, I can kind of hold here. Or you can do it just standing too. You don't have to be against something. So as I'm here, I'm going to do 3 positions of my foot scoops. And they're really for when my foot's in front of me, when my foot's behind me, and then when my foot's in the middle. So we'll do 3 positions here. First we'll do right foot forward, okay? And again, we just call these towel scoops. What I'm doing is scooping up, and I'm giving myself a bigger arch. I'm turning on my foot intrinsics, the flexors of my foot. I'm holding that for about 10 seconds, okay? And then just relaxing back down. Okay, so hold 10 Mississippi. Let's try to get through 10 of these just to kind of warm up. So we're just going to keep doing this. My second one, I'm holding for about 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. As I'm doing this, I'm putting a little bit more weight into my front leg, kind of like I just took a step. All right, so we're trying to mimic these patterns in gait, which are important. And another thing you want to think about, big mistakes that people make here naturally, the back foot wants to turn out. All right. Keep your toes pointing straight ahead. So if I'm facing straight ahead here, I'm just looking straight ahead. I want both my large toes pointing this way, and all my toes pointing this way, okay? Don't let that back foot flare out. So go ahead and take a peek at your back foot. See if it's lined up and pointing straight ahead. If it's pointing over here somewhere, you're just like everyone else on the planet. Just get it straightened up, okay? We'll do a few more of these, hold for 10 seconds. Again, you're trying to scoop up. The towel gives you something to kind of pull. It's like you're trying to pick up that towel with your toes, but your toes and your heels stay in contact with the ground, all right? Don't pick those up. Toes and heels stay in contact with the ground, and then the arch comes up, okay? All right, let's switch sides. So I'm going to put my opposite foot in front. All right? Same thing, get my good alignment here. Okay, looking straight ahead. I'm going to scoop the towel up, and again, I'm just trying to bring up that arch. I'm holding for 10 seconds. Check that back foot. Is the back foot straight ahead or is it off to the side? All right, kind of get it straight ahead there. through some of these. Again, each time I'm just holding 10 seconds. And again, I'm putting, this front knee is going to be bent just a little bit. Again, it's like I took a step and I'm kind of coming forward. All right, so a little bit more weight, maybe 60% of my weight here, maybe 40% of my weight on my back foot. Scoop it up. And stay there. We get through about 10 of these. Now, as you're doing these, you might get like cramping in your foot. If you have not used these muscles, they are now yelling at you. What are you trying to do? I've been in this nice, comfortable shoe all the time. I haven't had to work. You know, and now you're asking me to turn on. Like, you will feel it in there. If you're feeling cramping or problems there, take a break, step back. Your muscles just aren't ready to do that quite yet. Or you just need a little bit of rest and you can kind of get back into it. Just kind of break it up a little bit. All right, and the last one we'll do, we'll give you a straight ahead here. Just feet side by side. Now my weight's evenly distributed there, and I'm just scooping up. So same thing. Now I'm just in a little bit different position, neutral angle for my ankle there, and just kind of coming up. So same thing. I'm trying to scoop that towel. I'm trying to bring it up, okay, and work on those muscles. Now some of you, if you haven't done these before, right about now you're feeling a little bit sore, feeling like you're like you have done some work. All right. If that's getting painful, just stop. Okay. Body's just not ready for it yet. But this is a really simple, really safe activity or exercise to do. Again, we're holding 10 seconds, okay, and we're doing 10 times in each spot, just kind of holding up there. But these are exercises I'm pretty sure nobody's doing in the gym, so they're probably new to you. All right, good. So that works through kind of some of our foot intrinsics. We'll finish another one up here. And good, all right. So now what we're gonna work on, and again, there's so many different exercises and activities that you guys can work on. I want to hit the big ones that kind of cover most people. But if you're looking for a little bit more, or if some of these are bothering you, again, reach out to us. Comment in the section below. So next one we're going to do is heel raises. All right, so this is a real common one. Heel raises are just getting your heels up off the ground. All right, so we'll try some of this. Guys, if you have any balance difficulties, this is not, I don't want this to be a balance activity or exercise for you. So what we'll do is find something you can put your hand on, all right? Just something around, a chair, this is a table here, the wall will work, okay? I don't want this to be a balance activity. You can get two hands on the wall. I'm gonna face you guys just so you can kind of say, well, we'll actually go to the side. You kind of see a little bit of range of motion in my foot. I think you can see my feet on here. All right, so here with a stable surface, what I want you to do is try and come up on your toes as far as you can. Now, don't lean into whatever you're touching and push yourself up. All right, this is for a little bit of balance, but you want the weight going through your feet, okay? Coming all the way up. We're gonna get up to the top, kind of hold for a breath, and then relax back down, okay? So let's get through some of these. Usually, we get a little bit of a hold in there. We might do these in sets of like 10, okay? So we can do like 3 sets of 10. So I'm gonna get through 10 here. Pause at the top, get a little bit of a breath in there, okay? Up, a little bit of breath there. And we just keep going up and down. Again, guys, if this is bothering you, giving you problems, stop, okay? Comment below and give us a call. We can walk you through some stuff on the phone, all right? So I've got in about 10 of these. We'll get 10 and a little bit of break. So that's on 2 feet. Now, if that was really easy for you or you've done some of these exercises before, we can progress it, okay, pretty easily. So for those of you who it was like that was a challenge and that's good, but you didn't have pain, we're going to do the second set of 10, but you do it with 2 feet. If you feel like it was a little much, what we're going to do is 5 on each side, 1 foot. So I'm going to stand on 1 foot, pick my other foot up, still using this for balance, and coming up on my toes, hold for a second, and back down, and I'm just going to work one side, all right? So now I get pretty much my full body weight through there, so this will probably be a little bit more of a challenge. Again, if doing a 2 foot heel raise is very, very easy for you, then let's get to 1 foot. And I think I got about 5 on this side. I got 1 more. Good. Now I'll just go to my other foot, all right? For you guys doing it on 2 feet, just keep doing it on 2 feet. Then we get 5 and 5 on each side here. And this is a good progression of that, all right? Now, depending on the surface that you're on, this may be a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm on a hard floor here. And when I come up on my foot, like I can feel that in the ball of my foot. I'd probably be a little bit happier if I was on like a carpet or something like that. So if it's giving you pain, try and find a softer surface. It's probably going to be one of the complaints you're going to have there. All right, so we did 5 on each side there, and again, we'll try and get to one more set in. And again, the progression, if you feel like, hey, I'm feeling pretty good, I want to try on one foot, just get a couple of them in. So we'll get back in again, we'll do one foot, okay, get up there, hold for a second, and it's like, you know what, I'm kind of tired, and this is a little bit much. Switch to the other foot. Up, get a couple. I gotta do it on the other side. You know what, I'm kind of tired out, like this is starting to get painful, or I don't feel good balance. Then just go back to 2 feet, okay? So now I just went to 2 feet. Wow, that's a lot easier, because I'm on 2 feet. But that's a good progression for you guys to go through, is from like 2 foot to 1. That's a real good general activity for strength in the foot and ankle. And you want to get as much range of motion as you can. Come as high up on your toes as you can. Holly, I bet you can post a picture of dancers standing on their toes. That'd be fun. So don't do that unless you have professional training. But try and get up as high as you can up on your toes, but not like dancer high. Okay, so good. Hopefully everyone's feeling okay. Got to the strength, and now we're gonna get to balance, all right? This is a pretty big thing here. So here's some different stuff that you can do for balance at home. And all this stuff is really simple to do, but can be really challenging for you, all right? So you'll know, like based on our balance test that we did at the beginning, you might have found out, like, hey, you know what? My balance isn't that great, If you can't stand on one foot with your eyes open for 10 seconds without putting your foot down or touching something, we gotta work on your balance. So we're gonna go through a little bit of a balance progression here. So what we're gonna do is find a surface that you're comfortable on, okay? And if you had pretty good balance, if you were able to do some stuff with your eyes closed, what I'll encourage you to do right now is find a softer surface, okay? So get that bath towel you had at home, nice fluffy bath towel, fold it up. I'm gonna use my pad here, and I'm gonna get this, because I know my balance is okay, I'm not really having any issues, so I'm gonna challenge myself a little bit. So whatever surface you're on, get there. Get your feet about hip width apart, okay? Another way to kind of progress balance exercises, bonus tip here, if your feet are really close together, I'm kind of like a tripod, right? Okay, if I get my feet close together, I'm more likely to fall over. If I spread out my tripod, I got a little bit of a wider base, all right? So let's just do these kind of feet like hip width apart on your soft surface or flat on the floor if you had issues with the balance before. And we're gonna do some movements here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of drift forward onto my toes, all right? It doesn't take too long before I get out to my toes and like, wow, I'm really kind of getting close to falling over. Do not go so that you have to take a step. Don't go that far, okay? So I'm gonna go to the front on the balls of my toes and then back onto my heels. So I'm just shifting my body weight, okay? What we call kind of like my center of gravity over my base of support, which is my feet. So I'm just kind of pushing the limits of that. So I'm trying to get further out and back, all right? Out and back. All you kids born in the 70s and the 80s, like myself, might remember Michael Jackson videos where they leaned side to side. You're Michael Jackson. For the rest of you kids, I don't know, look it up on YouTube. Now we're gonna do the same thing side to side, all right? So going to the side and then shifting over. Now this one, as you can tell, it might be tough, but I can move a little bit more here. I've got a little bit more motion, kind of going side to side. I'm a little bit more stable. I could feel I was a little bit less stable, kind of going front to back. So that might be something I want to work on a little bit. So going side to side. All right. Now if that was easy for you, again guys, here's the progression of it. Very simple. All I got to do, close my eyes. All right. And I come forward and like, now I can tell I'm not as good as that with my eyes closed. And I'm not getting as much motion, translation, forward and back. And I can try that side to side. Okay? I feel a little better there, but I know I'm not moving as much as I was with my eyes open. And that will show you kind of how important having good vision and using your eyes is as far as keeping you balanced. All right? So that wasn't easy to do. Now what we'll do single leg stance. Okay? So that's on one foot. So we'll do eyes open, eyes closed. Now, when I did my testing before, remember what you got on your scores for your testing? Were you able to hold it, for like 5 or 10 seconds with your eyes closed? Then you have pretty good balance, all right? You can try this on a soft surface. Were you unable at all to do it with your eyes like closed? You're probably going to want to stay on a flat surface for this one, all right? So I'm going to go to my soft surface. So I'm going to get here on one foot, working on a single leg stance here, so I can get on here. And now I know that softer surface forces me to kind of make adjustments with my foot and ankle. And this is actually a pretty good exercise. Like I have to turn on my muscles and get those going there, and it'll fatigue you. Like I can feel my foot getting tired, all right? So you get about 10 seconds here. I'll switch over to the other side, see if you can get on one foot. Now, if you guys have trouble just standing on one foot, or you're having a little bit of trouble if you're on a softer surface, here's a good tip for you, all right? Get near something that you can hold on. This could be a wall or a surface like table. So what I have a lot of my patients do, try and balance, okay? You can catch yourself, okay? As opposed to just kind of completely going off and onto one foot. You know, just try and tap, catch yourself a little bit, all right? So what I want you guys to do, just alternate back and forth, okay? Standing up on the surface, holding about 10 seconds. And then we'll do the other side. Standing up, holding about 10 seconds. I'm gonna get some water. Just about allergy season here. Everything's kind of getting scratchy back there. Sun finally came out today though, so that was nice. All right, you guys still working? One foot, good. Now, if I'm doing this, and it's pretty easy, what can I do? How can I make this harder? If I'm on a soft surface, I already made it harder, but it's pretty easy for me to balance. How can I change it? See if you guys have been paying attention. Anyone want to comment, maybe? I can close my eyes. Now when I close my eyes, that exercise becomes a lot different. So I haven't kind of fallen over once today, but there it was. Now on a softer surface, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I know from all my yoga, I have less balance on my left foot than I do on my right foot. All right, so I can get on my right foot here, and let's see. Yeah, still tough. With my eyes closed, I can be a little more stable on my right. But even me, I don't have any foot problems. I exercise pretty healthy. I can still find the spot where I lose my balance. And that's what it's about, kind of progressing up to that. So I'm trying to challenge my balance. All right? So if I find a soft surface and close my eyes, you can see it's hard for me to stand on one foot. All right? That's some balancing activities that you can do and how you progress it. If you get good at that, I want to give you guys a little bit of progression that you can work on. So we were working on just static balance. All right, we call it staying in one spot. I'm going to give you one tip you can do here for dynamic balance. All right, so this is stuff that's a little bit harder, and it's really like through our fellowship and what we kind of determine what balance is. You know, is balance really is the best part of balance being able to stand on one foot? Probably not. It's being able to do functional activities, so like reaching out to pick something up without falling over, okay? Or getting like outside of my base of support, so that's my kind of my tripod here. Can I get outside that and return? So this is an exercise for that. So you can use a wall or just any kind of structure here. I'm just gonna use our table. So what I'm gonna do is stand on one foot, okay? And I'm gonna reach and touch down close to the floor that table, okay? But I can do that. I'm gonna get a little bit further away. All right, I'll reach here. That's a little bit tougher, okay? So I'm trying to find my limit here. Get a little bit further away. I can't quite get there, all right? So I gotta get a little bit closer and to the front and back. So I'm really reaching outside of my stability, my base of support here, and coming back, all right? That's a pretty good balance activity, okay? And same thing with that, we're doing on both feet, so kind of switch over to your other foot. There. And what would be interesting, what you'll find is like, wow, yeah, on my right foot, I can get further back. I know my left foot doesn't have as good a balance, or when I'm in single leg stance on my left. So I know if I'm on my left foot, I gotta get a little bit closer. That shows you just the difference side to side, just in your own body. There is going to be differences, I guarantee it. Another activity you can do, remember we talked about kind of going side to side a little bit more, really important for the foot. So same thing, if I stand here and I kind of reach to the side, ooh, I gotta get a little closer. I'm reaching, balancing out to the side. There, this one. Important one with this, don't go out and put your foot down, okay? This isn't like that would be like a lunge that I'm doing there. I'm working on balance. So I don't want to touch the ground, I just want to touch the bottom, just kind of like your baseboard on your wall or something lower like on the table there. So we can do those to the front and to the back. Again, that one's a little bit tougher. If you're struggling with just being on one foot, start there, all right? This is a progression for people that are a little bit more, have better balance, that they can kind of use at home. All right, what I want to finish up with, okay, so we did some activity there. You're likely to maybe get a little bit of soreness, particularly in the bottom of your feet. If you're not barefoot a whole lot and you did this, you might feel like, it's not too bad. You might be a little bit sore, so be expecting that. What I want to finish up with is a stretch, okay? So remember I said, that dorsiflexion range of motion in the back of your foot, is what is usually tight and problematic. And if we don't stretch it, it's going to give us problems. So what I want you to do, this is our classic runner stretch here. So you can find something to kind of hold on to here. Keep your back knee straight. So I'm stretching my back leg right here. And when I come forward, I feel that stretch in the back of my right calf, okay? And we may be flip-flopped here, but whatever foot's in back of you, like that's where you're going to be feeling it. The back knee's going to be straight. And again, remember when we were talking about our toes pointing out? When I have tight dorsiflexion, I don't have good motion there, my go-to substitution and compensation is to turn my foot out. Everybody does it, okay? So when you're doing this one, get in the stretch position, get your toes straight ahead. So I got a timer here. This is a good time to have a timer because we're going to hold this for a while. So I'm going to do this for 90 seconds. I'm going to get one on each side. The reason why we do 90 seconds, there was a study done a long time ago. There's still a lot of debate on what's the optimal length of time that you should hold a stretch. And what they found was that if I wanted to really lengthen muscle tissue, okay, permanently, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get more range of motion. 60 to 90 seconds is really optimal, okay? Anything more than 90 seconds really wasn't super beneficial for most people, and anything less than 60 seconds was not beneficial enough, okay? So that's kind of the sweet spot in there. So I try and hit 90 with like a lot of my patients. And I still feel that stretch. And as long as we're talking about stretching, let's talk about stretch intensity. Most people are stretching and trying to stretch as hard as they possibly can. You should not be straining and so like, well, if I really stretch this, it's going to work. What happens is when you get into a real strong stretch back there, things called your Golgi tendon organ fire, and they will tell the muscle to contract and tighten up. Okay, so it's doing the opposite of what you want to do. I always tell my patients, if I'm looking for a stretch intensity on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 is no stretch, 10 is the worst stretch that I can imagine. Okay, I want to be at like a 4. All right. When I get to 5, 6, 7, I'm firing GTO and it's turning the muscles on, and I don't want to do that. All right. So a few seconds here. Good. That's a nice long stretch we got in there. Let's do our other side. All right. So I have my timer set. I'm going to do a minute and 30 seconds. Check my foot, all straightened up. Good. Here. And I'm stretching here. Again, I feel like a 4 out of 10 stretch there. If you're doing these stretches at home, for this one, you can do this one a couple times a day. Like that's okay. Like once in the morning, once in the evening. If you really want to work on it, you can get doing it like 3 to 5 times a day. Stretch out. What I always tell patients, like, I don't have time to stretch it. We're going to stretch for 3 minutes here, right? Listen, whenever you're standing up, just put your foot behind you, okay? You're, doing dishes or something, like put your foot behind you. Watching TV, during the commercials, stand up, put your foot behind you. You don't have to like find time to do this stuff. Just do it every day. You're waiting in line at the store, depending on how comfortable you feel looking goofy doing your stretch at the store, just put your foot behind you, all right? So just whenever you have a chance, you want to try and get that foot behind you. So I'm still feeling stretch there. If you stay at that 4 level stretch, what can happen is like, I don't feel a stretch anymore. So then what I can do is I can lunge a little bit more, okay? And I can get just like a little bit more. You want to stay at that 4. So if you started at a 4, I was like, that's down like a 2. Like you want to get and push the 4. And if you're going from a 4 to a 2, back up to a 4, you're doing it right. That's what you want to have happen. You want that muscle tissue to release and relax a little bit. So I've got a few more seconds on our stretch here. So now, what I want you guys to do, if you actually did the test with me at home at the beginning, I want you to pull out your numbers, okay? So you either kind of like dropped your foot like before 20 seconds with your eyes open, or you got past 20 seconds and then you closed your eyes and you had a hold there, okay? I'm interested to see if we see any change. What we've done here is kind of stimulate the muscles, get them working a little bit more, but we could have fatigued them a little bit. So that's why I want you guys to kind of comment and get some information on this. I just came up with this morning when we were doing it. I wanted to see how people did before and after activating some of the muscles in their foot. So we'll get to that test. So if you had less than 20 seconds standing, kind of get your standing balance here. And just if you can think about it, just kind of remember how it felt before we did some of this stuff and how it feels now. What we've done is kind of stimulate the nervous system, okay, which has a lot to do with your balance and your proprioception. So I want to see if we've made any changes here. So I was good there. So if you got your time there, check the other side, okay? All right, and I was pretty good on just like a flat floor, so I'm not getting too much trouble here. I want to see how it feels. My muscles were worked a little bit. I could feel a little bit fatigued. I want to see how I do standing on one foot on the foam. Good. I'm still able to balance here. And when I was doing it, I actually got the eyes closed. So what I'm going to do is get back on. I will try closing my eyes. And it's a little bit tougher for me. I wore out some of my muscles a little bit. Let me try the other side. This is my left side, not my great side. Whew. So I fatigued some of my muscles out, so that's a good test to show me like, hey, I did something here. Okay, it's harder for me to do that, but if I keep working on that, I will get better. My muscles will get stronger. Okay, so I'm interested to see. Now, some people, depending on what exercises you did and what level you're at, maybe you turned some stuff on and it was easier for you to balance. Maybe like me, things got fatigued and it was a little bit harder to balance. It's just good to, it's just kind of something we do in the office, test, implement, like, and retest. So we like doing that. Okay, we are going to wrap up here. That's it for our foot class, okay? Guys, I really encourage you to try some of this stuff at home. So what your homework is, get on one foot, okay? I love telling people, brush your teeth on one foot. It's something that you're doing that you don't think about a whole lot. Try and do it on one foot. Doing something at the counter, cutting up some vegetables or something, do it on one foot. You're exercising your balance like right while you're there. Stretch, guys. Remember, 90 seconds was the key for that stretch. Anyone over the age of 40, or really 30, I would give them this stretch. Like that gastric starts tightening up, so start working on that. The progression of all of our balance exercises is going from 2 feet, okay, to 1 foot, okay? It's obviously harder. The progression on surfaces, I go from a hard surface to a soft surface. This is harder, all right? And anything I'm doing with balance, I go from my eyes open to my eyes closed, all right? Everything gets harder. So you can custom make whatever you want to do at home. I know this is easy, I gotta push it. That's how you do the progression, all right? So keep an eye on that. And then the last one we were talking about, if you get really good at it, just kind of reaching outside your base of support, okay? See if there's all different ways to do it. Can I reach something over here? Okay, that's another balance activity. Well, how far away from this can I get before I can't touch it anymore? Okay, reaching outside your base of support. So if all that other stuff was easy, start working towards that. That'd be really good. All right. So guys, you got through our foot class. Great job. You did it. Thank you so much for coming. This is something that we're doing every Wednesday and Friday right now while we're kind of getting through this pandemic season. I really encourage you guys to share it with your friends. If you want to say thank you to us, the biggest compliment you can give us is say, hey, I took this class, I learned something. So if you can share it with your friends and get more people here so we can exercise with more people on Wednesdays and Fridays at noon, that'd be awesome. If you guys got questions, comment below, okay? Or you can call us, 908-454-2404. Check out all of our information on our website and our Facebook page. But if something didn't feel right, something doesn't feel good, call us. Again, we're open. We're taking patients. We do free evaluations for all of our Facebook friends. So if you want to have something taken a look at that needs a little bit more in-depth analysis, please call us up and we'll help you out. All right? Guys, I had fun today. I love doing this. It's a lot of prep work, but hopefully you guys are getting half as much out of it as I am. I really like doing it and educating. So thanks for coming today. We will be up on Friday at noon and every Wednesday and Friday at noon going forward. We're talking about maybe adding some classes. If you guys got suggestions for classes, post the comments in there. But we're firming up our class schedule and just having some fun, exercising and spending some time with our patients that cannot make it into our office. All right. So until Friday, and stay tuned to Facebook. We'll see what the topic is. Stay safe, stay positive, stay strong, and thanks for hanging out with us today for CoFIT-20 class number 4. See you guys soon.